Update: I'm pregnant with my ex-husband's baby, and somehow the affair partner is mad. Original post: my wonderful soon-to-be ex-husband lied to me for months about living with his affair partner, my ex-best friend. It was lovely to find out that no, his new work building didn't have strict rules. She was living with him. He had a work opportunity in another country, so we were living a long-distance relationship for a few months. We saw each other recently, had passionate sex, and overall had fun, until I discovered the affair. Tears and screams and bag packing later, I was home mulling over the situation. I am numb, still numb after even finding out that I was pregnant. Here is where it gets good. The affair partner is infertile. Her husband left her recently because of that, and I was her shoulder to cry on. I called the ex-husband to tell him about the baby and the high risk of miscarriage. She was next to him. She went apeshit, screamed and cried I had no right to have her man's baby, that I'm stealing her life and being a bitch. Oh really? Her relatives are now blowing up my phone calling me a horrible, spiteful bitch. What, how, why, logic gymnastics, much. I am so done with everything. 2022 can go eat a dick. I have no one to talk to here, so I'm getting this out of my chest. Edit. AP, the affair partner, long distance relationship. Denise is the same Denise from my last post. Also funny enough, Chad tipped me on the affair. I have a therapist and following your advice got a lawyer. Also, please stop telling me to not murder my baby over my bitterness for my husband. My heart is already raw over that hard but necessary decision. I respect your beliefs, so please respect my decision. Now for the top of comments before reading the update. She's mad because she wanted everything that you had, but you took something that she'd never be able to get. Her plan failed. Get a really good lawyer so you can figure out custody and child support. And I'm so sorry you're going through all this alone. I was a single mom for a few years, and while it was tough, it forced me to want a better life for myself and to do better for my child. You will get through this, OP. There's no one in the world stronger than a protective and determined mama. There probably won't be custody or else because of my health state, but thank you for such a nice message. I'm honestly baffled at Denise's words and logic, but what can I do but move on? I have to admit, I would have loved to be a mom, even if it meant going through the journey alone, but health issues plus very rocky situation is making the whole ordeal very unstable. If I was to have a kid, they'd deserve at least to have a mentally stable mom, which is why I'm making the very painful decision to let them go. You have to do what's best for you, and if letting the pregnancy end is the best thing, then well done for making such an incredibly difficult decision. There is no shame in waiting until you are in a better, more stable, and more supportive time in your life. I wish you luck in your life, and I hope you can work through this awful situation. And screw Denise. Your ex may be tied to her craziness, but at least you won't be. Now for the update. Update. Hi Reddit, it's been about 3 days, but these days felt like weeks to me. As I was tossing and turning in my hospital bed, I remembered this account and thought you might want an update. To be frank, I also need to tell someone. I lost my baby. A few hours after posting, actually, avoiding details, my memory is also lazy. It was gruesome. I won't explain very much, it was just horrible. For context, I take heart meds for a condition I got from my dad, one of those being blood thinners. When I miscarried, it was flowing and flowing, and I honestly thought I would be dying. I was on my knees in pain, and the massive blood loss coupled with the already severe anemia made me very dizzy and confused. I called the fire department and managed to stay lucid until they came. I wish this on no one ever. It was truly traumatizing. Where it gets bad, I don't remember if I mentioned it somewhere on the original post, but my husband came home when he heard of the pregnancy and was staying at the budget hotel on the other side of the road. When he saw the fire trucks pulling to our house, he apparently ran over to ask what was happening to his wife. He followed the ambulance to the hospital, or so he told me, and came in pretending he was my dear old husband being so concerned for me. I didn't need much, just blood transfusion, iron and other IVs, and some painkiller. They also gave me some meds to finish the job and recommended rest. Waking up to find him next to me was a deception. I have no English words to describe how gutted I was when I woke up to his concerned face next to me. We fought. I told him I never wanted to see him again and was serving him papers soon. He said I was his wife, that he loved me more than anything else in this world and was deeply concerned for. What love when you were living with your affair partner? He pulled out his phone and broke up with Denise on speakerphone and asked me if I wanted him to make a Facebook post where he tells everyone about his infidelity. I told him he could go screw himself for all I cared. Every time I wake up, there he is, tidying up my room, changing the flowers in the vase, peeling my fruit, or bringing me even more boxes of my favorite chocolates. He is constantly there, catering to my every need. The nurses did ask me if I wanted him removed after we argued, but I said no. I don't know why. I feel like somewhere in there is still the kind man that I married. Maybe, maybe not. As I write this, he is sleeping on a wooden chair, arms crossed. As for Denise, she sent me some colorful messages. She heard about my miscarriage from the husband and didn't miss a beat in insulting me, even more saying that that's what I deserved, stealing her man away from her, that I was a racist slut who hated her and her family all along, and she was glad I would never be a mother. It goes without saying that I took the mental health initiative to block her and her whole circus. See you in therapy, guys. Homewrecker out. Don't know if I can be vulnerable, but I feel like my heart has been ripped to shreds. Someone on my last post said something to the effect of, "No one goes to an abortion with a smile on their face." And God, is that true? Even if this baby wasn't expected to last, it hurts. It hurts like crazy. You keep playing the what if in your head. I wish it didn't have to be this way. I wish I could welcome a little one into my life. I keep wishing I could go back and have a small family and a loving husband. I wish I could just forgive and forget, but I won't, and it does hurt. This is getting too long and boring. Sorry about that. I can't thank you enough for all the kind words from every single one of you. Rereading them earlier gave me the clarity to realize I was making the right decision, and I had the strength to do so. Thank you. Mini edit. It's 11 p.m. here. I kicked my husband out of the room earlier. He started talking about going home together and finally trying officially for a kid. I had enough. I asked the nurse, the one who gave me the wrapper for grapes, as a snack. She called security and they escorted him out. I can't move on if he's lingering around. Thanks for all the sweet messages, the concerns, the love, the support, the DMs, everything. You people have a heart of gold, and I hope karma pays it back tenfold. You don't know the positive impact that you've had on my mental health. Story 2. My husband has ruined both of our lives by asking me to double up his lunch serving for work. I'm on a throwaway because I still haven't fully decided on divorce, but I'm 95% sure on it. Me, 26 female, my husband 25 male, and I have been married for almost 2 years and have a 6-month-old baby. I work part-time only to supplement our income and to pay the legal process of getting him documented. We are very fortunate that it seems to be an easy process of maybe 2 years max for his residency, but now I'm going to cancel everything and ask for a divorce. My routine used to be I wake up an hour and a half before him in the morning and make him lunch and pack everything for him for work and have his breakfast, coffee, and clothes ready for him to wake up, eat, get dressed, and head out within 30 minutes. He used to be satisfied with the way that I packed him a freshly made chicken in either honey buffalo, lemon pepper, and salad or some sort of chicken wraps, etc. Pure healthy food. I did this because I wanted to make his life easier and show him I cared and love him, and I've done this since we moved in together more than 3 years ago. Well, recently I've had to start including dinner leftovers because he started asking for more food, that he was still hungry afterwards, which I thought was odd because no matter if I work or not, he always comes home to prepared food, so even if he wasn't full, he would be okay. But I explained it off with maybe he's bulking or something. So I started including what I normally take to work, which has caused me to either go without lunch and having to wait until after work or be late for work because I have to wait till the food is ready and take some because I'm breastfeeding and can't miss eating every time. I'll leave food going, such as in a crock pot or low heat, depending on how long after I leave he gets home. Well, last week when I was packing his lunch, I found an unrecognized second fork in his lunchbox and was thrown off, so I asked, and he said he found it in the kitchen of his work and brought it home. Odd why he didn't just leave it. And I'd noticed some small changes in him that I gaslighted myself into I'm being insecure because I just had a baby, but this made the pit of my stomach churn. So a few days later, I decided to go to his work during lunch to surprise him with dessert and for him to see the baby. Well, that was when I found out why he wanted more food. His coworker, he told me no longer worked there, who I'd caught him talking too friendly to, and I told him it bothered me, and I had him remove everything and block on WhatsApp not only still worked there, but was eating the lunch I freshly prepared for him, and he was eating the leftovers. I didn't cause a scene, instead took pictures and added to my folder of everything he's done before from simply hearing other girls' stories after telling me he didn't to naked pictures of a coworker from a previous job he got fired from because of her. I drove home crying to pack my things. When I got home, I took the bassinet and anything that I'd need for the baby and my essentials and went to my sister and brother-in-law's and told them everything, and even showed him our conversations from WhatsApp where he told me that she no longer worked there. I normally text him throughout the day, so he started texting me and calling me to see if I was okay and what was for dinner. He was almost off, is everything okay? And then he got to the house an hour earlier than usual, which also has me question if he's been lying about what time he gets off too, and saw mine and the baby's things gone, and my letter that he had 7 days to leave my house. My mom gave it to me when I was 20, and that he can communicate with my mother to see the baby when I'm at work or whenever he wants to see her, just to let her know, and I'll drop off the baby with her. I, for the time being, don't want anything to do with him, and I left the printed photos of them eating lunch laughing together under the letter. Later that night, when I decided I no longer wanted anything to do with him, I informed the lawyer. We had a group WhatsApp chat with him, me, the lawyer, paralegal, and my brother-in-law, our co-sponsor, that I no longer was going to need his services, and then messaged the lawyer privately to ask if I could maybe move our contract and the money that I've paid so far over to his divorce and family practice. He said, unfortunately, there's some clause or something that we need to decide to no longer pursue the case. We lose the money we've invested, and also that his immigration practice is a partnership with different people than his family one. But he will just leave our case open till we get a response for our next appointment from the government, and if we haven't worked things out by then he will cancel everything. Well, this caused him to go insane, because now if he doesn't get the papers, he has to choose between his daughter and parents, to either risk never seeing his parents and family again or never seeing his daughter again if he goes over there. He's begging me to the point I've blocked him on everything. He's came to my brother-in-law's house and been told to leave or we were calling the police. Then he later came back drunk with his buddies, who then were all scared off by my brother-in-law and his shotgun. I feel so lost, broken, and depressed. I also have security at work to make sure he doesn't show up at my office. My sister tells me to leave him but not divorce so he can never get with anyone else and get the papers, but I can't do that to him. I've gone back home only to check on the house and to see if he's gone. I'm still staying with my sister, and surprisingly, there's no damage to anything, and his things only are gone. So at least I feel a little relief in that. I'm not looking for advice, and no, I'm not going back. There is no longer any trust. My mental health wouldn't be safe in that relationship. And I know I can't have my daughter grow up with that kind of a relationship being an example. I just needed to put this out there in order for it to solidify in my brain and to be able to reflect that this is now a pattern, and he's gone beyond disrespecting me by now also making me make her food. I've been budgeting, trying to make things last, sometimes eating less than I want to or skipping meals, if possible. If a meal was heavier in carbs, I'd skip since I should have enough for my milk supply. all to be able to pay bills, lawyer, his gym membership, and supplements. I lose out on rest and sleep because I ensure laundry in the house is kept spotless while the baby sleeps. I've gone basically from an independent, educated career woman to a 1950s housewife with a job and school, all because I blindly fell for this man. When I say that I feel stupid, that's an understatement. Anyhow, TLDR, my husband had me, his breastfeeding wife, skipping meals and going out of my way to make him an extra lunch for his side chick at work. And now I have the house, cars, and he's lost his nuclear family and ability to get a green card to be able to stay in the States and or see his family in Mexico ever again. Edit. My phone seems to post it without paragraphs no matter what I do, but I promise I tried to format it even though I was an emotional mess. This time I double-spaced the paragraphs to see if that helps. I don't know if it's my phone or what. Some things I want to clarify I've been seeing in the comments. No, my sister isn't pushing me to stay in a relationship with him. She's telling me not to divorce him so that he can't just go find another woman to marry and use for the green card. No, I'm not taking anything from him that wasn't mine before we got married. Before me, he lived in a house with 7 other men sharing a bedroom with a bunk bed, and he drove a 2000 Buick. He had to unplug from the battery in order to use it again. That car got scrapped after the electrical system went out. The car he is using is my car I got in high school. It got me through high school, part-time, seasonal jobs, and community college. Also, my mom isn't dead. She gave me my childhood home because I was going to college, and it's a 10-minute commute from the college. She gave it to me because I'm the last of the kids. All my brothers and sisters are at least 10 years older, and aside from my sister who's helping me, they all live in different states. He left home with a motorcycle, his customizing his gaming systems, clothes, and the guest bedroom TV, which was the only TV that was not mounted. Also, I'm not keeping his daughter from him. I just personally don't want to see him because I know he will try to give me a ton of excuses and try to make me understand him. He can speak to my sister or mom, and they will supervise him to see his daughter whenever he wants to. There is no battle in that. I don't think he's a bad father. I just don't think my relationship with him is the example I want to give to my daughter. Yes, I am Mexican too. My dad came to the States and then later brought my mom and 2 brothers, 2 sisters. Took a decade to see each other again, which is why I'm so apart from my siblings and the only one born here. Now for the advice. Do not let anyone blame you for the green card issues he's going to face now. He made the decision to cheat on you despite knowing that your marriage was what was getting him his green card in the first place. He made this mess, not you. Now he's the one that's got to clean it up. You've absolutely done the right thing. For the time being, I highly suggest you keep your current temporary living arrangements for several months. Continue to check on the house. Have the locks changed so that he can no longer have access, and install security cams or a ring cam. You want to ensure your safety and the safety of your child. Also, if the child has a passport, be sure to have it in your possession under lock and key. He could easily leave the country with the child if there's a passport, and you'd never see the child again. Best of luck. Kick him the F out and reclaim her house is what she should do. Get the cameras and a restraining order and ask the brother-in-law and cops to drive by occasionally to ensure her safety. Ex-husband has no claim to that house, and if OP lets him stay there for too long, she may also lose some rights and end up having to formally evict him, depending on the state laws, of course. What a shitty shithead that one. He was probably going to bail as soon as he got his citizenship. Wonder if the coworker will take him in. What I don't get is the woman coworker. Who wants to eat the lunch prepared by your lover's wife? Like, even if you don't care that he's cheating on a breastfeeding mother, which is already effed up, how are you going to eat the food she makes every day? And what kind of psychopath has so little shame? That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.